Good evening, ladies and gents. Hope you're having a spectacular day. My name's Camille, and guys, let's get down to the real deal. Today, we're going to talk about pain. And this is where it gets personal. Because, honestly, in order to talk about pain, nobody really wants to hear you talk about pain or struggle unless you have personal experience. And so, most immediately, when I think about my personal experience with pain and struggle, I actually think about my relationship with my fiance. Everything's great most of the time. We are deeply in love. We have two beautiful children. We're very blessed and very pleased with where we are the vast majority of the time. However, every relationship has its struggles, and every thing that you attempt to accomplish is going to have setbacks. And as a result, with my relationship being what is most important to me, I find myself struggling very often with just different things. Most of the time, money. Most of the time, the fact that we don't have, you know the struggle. Too much month at the end of your money catches up to us. The baby needs this. Our 7-year-old needs that. We got to do these things, and there's karate, and there's this, and there's blah 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 blah. And I make my paycheck. I go to work every day, and at the end of 15 days, I get paid twice a month. At the end of the 15 days, I have this to work with, and that doesn't go far enough. We've got bills that need to be paid. We have to get gas in the car. We got to take care of different obligations and different expenses. And oh, by the way, diapers are a thing that nobody else pays for. So when it gets down to things like that, it gets frustrating. And sometimes I find myself not really doubting what I'm doing, because even after the conversation is done, even while the conversation is happening, I know that this is where I want to be. I know that this is where I'm happy, and this is what I've always wanted. I know that I can't think of a reason that would be okay for me to live somewhere that my children aren't. I can't think of a reason that would be okay for me to sleep beside anyone else or sleep alone. I can't think of any place that I would rather be or anything that I would rather do than what I'm doing, but it's still hard. Not because I would rather be somewhere else, but because it's nice to think about the concept of having what I need as well as a lot of what I want. It's nice to think about being able to take that paycheck, pay my bills, and then still have money left over. And the reality is that that's not where I am right now. And a large part of me is fine with that. A large part of me realizes that it's what my children need. It's what my children, what my children need, and what's happening with my children is absolutely the most prominent point. It's the most important thing at all in my life. I wouldn't dare prioritize myself and my own needs or wants above those of my children. That's just selfish. But I dream. And I dream not of having them go without so that I can have, but I dream of having enough so that all of us can have. They can have what they need and want, and I can have some of what I want too. And that's the struggle. It's finding the balance between sacrifice and satisfaction. That's my personal struggle most of the time. I find myself just wishing that things were different. And so having that conversation with myself as recently as a few days ago, and realizing that the only way to make things where I want them to be, the only way to get things where all of that is possible, is to make it happen myself. That's one of the reasons I started this channel, actually, is because sometimes when you're in that fight, sometimes when you realize that you're experiencing that pain, and it's different things depending on what you're talking about. Sometimes it's at work, sometimes it's, with trying to accomplish your dream, sometimes it's with your own family, sometimes it's, any number of things. You're experiencing that hardship, and what you have to realize is most of the time that hardship is not a reason to quit. You don't cry to give up, you cry to keep going. You don't cry to quit, you cry to get through what you're going through. And when you get done with those tears, when you get done breaking down, when you get done fighting whatever you're fighting, at the end of the day, you stand up and you go on to the next day, you go on to the next thing, you go on to the next struggle, because once it's all said and done with, you still got a dream, you still got a goal, you still got a family, you still got a job, you still got whatever it is that struggle was caused by or was influenced by. Whatever you were fighting over, that fight's still there. And if you still want it, if you still want what you're going after, then those tears mean something, because they're to get you to the other side of that bridge. They're to keep you going on that journey. They're to help you get where you want to be, instead of just staying where you are. Pain is natural. Pain is necessary, because without it, my relationship with my boys doesn't mean as much. My relationship with my fiance doesn't mean as much. And without the pain that is inevitably going to come from doing this, the days that I don't feel like making a video, the days that I don't feel like writing, the days that I don't feel like whatever the case may be, getting through that is going to mean that when I get where I'm going, it's going to be that much sweeter. And I think that one of the biggest, most dangerous things about the what's the word I'm looking for? One of the most dangerous things about how we view relationships is we don't like to talk about the pain. We don't like to talk about the days where it's hard. We don't like to talk about the days where you don't know how you feel. The days where you don't like how you feel. We always want to talk about the sunshine and the rainbows and how wonderful it is. And at the very most, we will give a little blurb. Oh, sometimes it's not going to be so easy. Well, no, let's talk about why it's not easy. Let's talk about how you get through it not being easy. Because when those days are finished, there's still a whole rest of your life to go through. There's still a whole rest of a journey to finish. And if we ignore those times, that pain, and those experiences, if we ignore the struggle, if we try to pretend it didn't happen, then it devalues the whole of the experience, and it even devalues the success of the overall outcome. Anyway, that's where we're going to end today. Remember, if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing here, you want to see more of it, please hit the subscribe. Thank you for your time. Remember, my name's Camille. This has been The Real Deal. I'm hoping you feel me, and I'll see you next time we can chill. Thank you very much.